Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. My name is Aldrine. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. So what's up, Aaron?
What's up?
And Mr. Kauai, the legend, Ferguson. So what's up, Kauai?
What's up?
Gentlemen, it is noon on a Monday. That means it's time for the Monday Ukulele on the Ground podcast. So what we do here is we talk any and all things ukulele. And basically what we do is we answer all of your questions. So whatever questions you may have, and however we may get them, usually we have the live chat because we are live. So type in your questions in the chat. Kauai will pick a question. He will relay it over to me, and I'll try to answer it as best as I can. I'll give you my 2 cents. These guys will come in with their 2 cents, and we'll come in with the best 6-cent answer just for you. So either the live chat, you can email it to us, you can leave a voicemail, you can leave a text, whatever you want to do. However you can ask your questions, we will try to give you our opinions on those questions. So you got Q's, we got O's. Right, Kauai?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get started. What are we talking about today? What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, you guys just played on Molokai, so thought about talking about that. How was the gig for you guys? And what happened?
Yo, I can now finally put in my resume, I played for the Super Bowl. Okay, I feel like I joined the ranks of Lady Gaga, of Bruno Mars, Michael Jackson, Prince, and most recently Kendrick Lamar. Right? They've played for a Super Bowl, and so did I play for a Super Bowl. No, the event was called Super Bowl, as in soup, SOUPR Bowl. So what it was basically a fundraiser over on the island of Moloka, and it was a fundraiser for the Molokai Arts Center. And what they were doing is you could buy tickets to go inside. You get a bowl of soup and a bunch of food. Actually, it's like an event. You go in. There's there's an auctions and stuff. There's like a store that you can go check out. There's entertainment. There was like a string quintet like before us that was playing, and then we came up. So myself, Aaron, and Kaniho were the main entertainment. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so tickets to go inside. All the proceeds went to the Molokai Arts Center, and then you could also buy like ceramic bowls that was made by a bunch of people. Most of them made by Mr. Ellis. I think that's his name. Like everyone seemed to have Bennett. Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett is the guy who made most of the bowls that was on sale for the event. It was pretty amazing actually, and it was a lot of fun, and just being in Molokai, I've never been there before. It was my first time being in Molokai, and I thought I lived in a slow island, but goddamn, is it reminiscent of what I thought Kauai was when I was a little kid? Because when you're a little kid, your world is so small, and it's kind of like that, but like as an adult, because that world is definitely small, and it's like so. Like such a simple life that I'm actually quite jealous, honestly. Like Molokai is what I would imagine Kauai was like maybe in the 80s. Like that like very simple kind of life, and maybe even like longer before that. Like
as far as infrastructure.
They really managed to keep it as authentic as possible, like as authentically Molokaian as possible. So it's kind of amazing. And for somebody who's watching it for the first time, or looking at at how the people interact with themselves, with the environment, with with their homes, and with their culture, with their with their neighbors, it is like one of those when you hear the term lahui thrown around a lot. Like hui is like group or community or family, and lahu is like the community or the group of people, right? So but that was for me like a prime example of what like the whole island as a lahui, like kind of coming together, making decisions, and knowing what's best for themselves and for their island. It's kind of amazing. I give an example. Okay, this is gonna get a little bit controversial, just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna step out of the the ukulele teacher role here, and just and put on my hat as a Kauai resident, more specifically a Kōloa resident. Okay, so I grew up in the town of Kōloa here on Kauai, and have always thought Kōloa had everything. There was a gas station, there were 2 stores, a big save in Suyoka's. There was like a school, there was a bank, and then the neighborhood like that. We had that, and a post office, I guess, a fish market, and like an arcade. It was like in its own little kind of town, and as a kid, because that town already had everything, and that my whole world existed in that town, and I thought it was perfect. I thought Kōloa was perfect. I knew everyone. Everyone knew me. Like everyone knew each other. When you would go to the store, you would know somebody. Guaranteed, you'd know somebody. Or you'd be at least be friends with somebody. At any of the stores that you go to. But lately, and I think I haven't really lived in Kōloa for that long, but the whole time that I was there, it's like the generations just kept their houses, and they all just kind of kept living in the same place. It was mostly Asians, like a lot of Filipinos lived in Kōloa, and Filipinos usually they just stack generation after generation of just like living in the same house, and just more and more, like, I guess people left and new people came in, and I just don't recognize like anyone anymore. And then what I'm trying to get at is there was a point where like a huge part of Kōloa, which is it's monkey pod trees, banyan trees, and like these just trees in general that were there in Kōloa that they built around, and it became. And it is a part of that, a huge part of that town. There were, this is where it gets a little bit political and controversial. They chose to tore down all those trees and build what is now there a shopping center. Yeah, and they wanted to just like expand Kōloa as this like kind of new Kapa, because Kapa was kind of the same thing, and then these like bougie kind of places opened up, and it became not Kapa anymore, like that we, at least I knew back in the day. And Kōloa, I feel like, is facing the same fate, and like no matter how much protest there was, like to not like tear down the tree or chop down the trees, and like tear down like all the all the land, so that they could build something. And
shopping centers,
shopping centers and parking lots and stuff. It's kind of sad that they did all that, and regardless of the people's attempts to say no, and here's where it gets more and more controversial. The people that were saying no were the people that lived there for generations. But the people who were like, I could use a shopping center here, that would be kind of nice, are the people who just moved there. And because the people who just moved there, like can and just housing in general is like super super expensive nowadays. So the people that can live there, the people that can afford these like lavish, like really expensive houses, and those kind of people have more pull for some reason than than the people who actually lived there, and because of that, it happened. And for us, we're just kind of like, well, that's how government works, I guess. They decide what they're supposed to decide what's good, or they're supposed to be our representatives, representatives of the people. But then sometimes it just doesn't go that way. There's kids, I'm sorry to say, but there's all these things that's happening behind the scenes that doesn't necessarily mean that some people have your best interest. And you're kind of seeing my kind of I don't talk politics here, but I'm very passionate about this one, because I was very anti, the changing of Kōloa. And lo and behold, we were kind of right, because they did all that. The shopping center's there, there's all these parking lots and stuff, and it's empty. It's got nothing, short of maybe 4 or 5 restaurants and stuff. There's really nothing there, in the Kōloa shopping center. And and it's just sad that you took down like a lot of the history, and even more, there's just so much. Like I used to play around that town, and like there was there was a small little museum, like that that my uncles used to clean up and watch over and dress up and stuff. Talking about like the people who built that town, because Kōloa was a sugarcane town, right? Yeah. So all the people that worked in the sugarcane factory and the workers and stuff, like there was a museum that showcased like the history of that town. That got taken down and they put up like a Java Kai, which is like a coffee place, and I'm just like, now like. So for me as an adult with children, I knew, because growing up I had that museum, so I knew what the history was like in that place. But now, like, where do I take my children to see or to interact with any kind of history like in that town? Okay, and it's kind of sad. So what I'm getting at here is, in Molokai, the people really have the power. Like if they don't want something there, like it's not gonna be built there. There are reasons why Aaron and I had to board a tiny plane instead of like a regular plane to go there, because in order to have big planes to land there, you're gonna have to have like big runways. And People of Moloka just like simply just said, nah, we don't want that. Like and it didn't happen, and then like there was a super ferry that was kind of happening, and they're like, we don't want that either, and then boom, it didn't happen. Like there's all these things that like the people spoke their voices, and those things never happened, because because the people there, I feel like have more power, and it's really amazing to to kind of see the families, the culture, and just the power that the people have there to keep Molokai like Molokai, and it's very, very, very like powerful, I think. And and I'm not even that old, and so I'm guessing like people who lived in Kōloa like since, I don't know, like God knows how long, and seeing how it is now, I'm sure is even sadder, because I guess when I was growing up, they're like, it was even better than that, Yeah. So I know times change, and I know like we gotta change with the times, but Molokai, I feel like, has been frozen in time. And like,
somehow,
yeah, there's zero, and I mean zero traffic lights there. Like,
well, there's one, but it doesn't work.
It's so amazing. I've never been. I wish I could have gone sooner, just to kind of get this kind of life experience. And even as a 40-year-old adult, like I didn't know I could. There's still a part of Hawaii that is like that. That has maintained its integrity as far as like, this is the identity of our island, and we choose to keep it this way. Because I feel like we did have that here on Kauai, and then like just so much changed, and like I love the sentiment that that Kaniho was kind of telling me about, and Kaniho and his partner Kahea, about like Mr. Bennett. Like, there's a story that I gotta tell and stuff. Like Mr. Bennett, the guy who makes these bowls, like he's a part of that community, okay? But he wasn't born and raised there, but he's a transplant, moved from the mainland and stuff. But he is accepted by the people there because he decided to be part of that community. Mm-hmm. And he made a contribution, a big one, so that they could be, part of that community. You can't just go and just take just because you can, right, just because you can afford stuff, like what are you contributing to the Lahui, right?
I think so. A lot of people there said that he was their math teacher. Yes. Yeah. And he was, even Kahea was saying, like, that's the only reason why I love math to this day, is because of this guy. He was, I'm not too sure what he did before he came to Molokai, but he became part of their community. He became like one of those pillars that people would come to for any resources. He would connect people, and he still to this day is contributing by volunteering at that community arts center. And
yeah. So, a friend of mine, I'm not gonna name them, but they asked me because they moved to Oahu, and from the mainland. They're like, when do this person asked me, like, when do I feel like I'm no longer like or when do I feel like I'm part of this community and not like, because this person lives there, so they're technically like a part of that community because they own a house and they're a resident, right? But just because you're a resident doesn't necessarily mean you're part of that community, okay? And I told that person, I heard from Kaniho, like, you have to contribute somehow. Like, what are you contributing if you move there and you just take resources and instead of like helping to create more or helping to grow the community, that's when you're part of of said community. And he told me about that a while back, but I finally have a full understanding of exactly what he meant by that. Because he was telling me there's a bartender, there was only one bar like in Molokai. And this guy who's a bartender there basically sees all the tourists that come to that bar and whatever.
Yeah.
And
then
then
people who say that they moved or whatever, they came and decided to, I'm living here now.
Yeah. So he sees these guys and so that guy would be like, oh, so well, what brings you here,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm like retired. I figured I'd come to, to a place like this to just kind of lay low and be quiet and just whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the guy, like according to Kaniu, is like, I'm telling you right now, it's a wrong answer. It's a wrong answer of like what to the question of what are you doing here, And then that guy said, what you should do is like whatever you're good at, whatever you can contribute. In this case, let's use Mr. Bennett as a reference, right? So Mr. Bennett moves from the mainland, goes and teaches, teaches the youth and teaches in general, like, because he's part of the Molokai Arts Center, so he's part of the arts. He teaches at the school. He's a math teacher. He does trigonometry. He does calculus, like, because he was Kahea's mom's trigonometry teacher, so like, and you can see like how much he's contributed. So and the bartender said, like, okay, like, and find or like either teach at a school or something, or find someone to mentor and teach that person your craft. Teach that person, and make that person better somehow, like, and just mentor that person. And then, like later on, when that person graduates, like they're gonna invite you to the graduation. And when you go to that graduation, in that speech that kid's gonna make, that kid's gonna be like, and I'd like to thank Mr. Bennett for for helping me fall in love with math and like this the reason why I am today. Kind of like when Kahit talks about Mr. Bennett, it's just like with this passion, of like, oh, this is why I love math. Like I'm really good at math because of Mr. Bennett. I used to hate whatever, but he made me love math. So it's that, and then. Like that's in front of the whole community. So the whole community is like, okay, then, Mr. Bennett, is the reason why this person, this kid, like made it, or has made something of themselves, graduated or whatever, maybe got these skills. And that's when, like, when the community is going to be like, oh, right on, Mr. Bennett,
You're
like,
obviously part of this community.
You're part of this community, instead of just like, okay, well, I just figured like I'd buy a house and move here and just kind of lay low.
I like the slow lifestyle.
So
I'm gonna take advantage of that. Right?
So instead, Mr. Bennett came and contributed, and because of his contributions, and still contributing, because he made like 1,000 something bowls for the Super Bowl,
I think they had maybe about 500 total, and he made almost 200.
Something like no, it was a lot. It was a lot of bowls. I thought I saw like a different number on the piece of paper, but anyway. So I mean, regardless, it's still a lot of bowls, and like, so he's still helping to this day, and like that was so powerful. Like I. Like the things that I've seen, things that I've experienced, the things I learned this past weekend, like was just, I couldn't be any more grateful to Kahea, Kaniho and their family for allowing me to experience all these things, because as I tell them now, I'm like, man, I'm like fired up, because yeah, I compare it to my own experiences here on Kauai. But granted, Kauai is, a lot more governed and there's a lot more mixed opinions and ideas and stuff, rather than Molokai, we're like, nah, we like it like this, everyone likes it like this, so let's let's not let's not mess this up, basically, we have land. So one of the things that Kahe said that really rang out, because I guess the kids are getting older now, they don't know the true meaning of what being rich is. Being rich in Molokai doesn't mean that you have all this money. It's the abundance of resources that they have there, the amount of people who who are considered their family and friends that they're super rich with. It's just, and you're all there together, and it's that, and so good. This entire trip has been very, very, very meaningful and very impactful to me as an adult. And I don't know if I'm having a weird midlife crisis about stuff, but man, it was very inspiring. That's all. Sorry to take 20 minutes to just oh, you're gonna ask me that question, Kai. Let me tell you right now how I'm feeling, because it's fresh. I just came home and all this stuff is fresh in my mind. I'm Molokai, man, it's you guys figured it out how to freeze that, those values and cultures, in time.
I think like you said, or as Aaron was telling me, it's there's probably no place in America like that, or maybe even the world,
outside of maybe Amish communities where they've decided, and they have kind of closed off everything and just said hey, we're just gonna keep things like this. But it's strange, because I was saying to Kahea that in our current society, it is just part of it where you'll see what other people are doing on Instagram, and people there have internet. They know what's going
They're not blocked off. But they choose to. They choose to live how they live, and they choose to keep things simple. I love that so much, man. I'm trying to think, what can I contribute? Because I'd like to move there. Well, what can I contribute other than music? But everyone already plays music and sing beautifully there, So
I think, and it's people, if they come to Kauai, I think that mentality too of people who are saying move to Kauai, and they're I can do something for the community, I can do this. But if you really want to integrate with communities like Kauai or Molokai, instead of doing that, you should ask the community themselves, hey, what do you need from me? Not what can I give to you. Is hey, what can I help with? But what do you guys need, or what is there hole missing for you guys?
Because I mean, if you think about it, if you're thinking from this standard capitalist mentality, someone could go to Molokai and say hey, I have all this money, let's build you a shopping mall here, and it'll give people jobs, it'll bring bring more tourism, so that we can stimulate this economy, and you can people can level up their lifestyles. That's so great, right? Don't you guys want that?
They're no thanks.
That's why, right?
99% of them,
and so,
no thank you.
And so the average person, if you just lived in America or any westernized country, that just befuddles you, right? Why would you not want to upgrade your lifestyle? Why wouldn't you want to be feel more you have more capital to throw around?
Especially in this day and age where billionaires have so much control, over
power.
But then in a place like Molokai, you're no, that's it. Oh my god, amazing.
You can't even understand where they're coming from.
Because you guys were mentioning, right, the airplane to get to Molokai, and it's oh yeah, we can make this way better. We can make it more convenient. We can make it so bigger planes can land, more airlines can land. It's like to trade off like the convenience versus like having to develop.
It's funny. It's funny because the people from Molokai complain about the airline, but they also don't want it to be dead. It's true.
They're like, Mokulele is always late. Like you never know when you're gonna leave.
They're always canceling flights and stuff. But like, do you want to extend the runway so other plane companies can come in? Oh no. I'd
take the late flights. Or canceled flights. Man,
it's like admirable that they know who they are and they're keeping true to themselves, right?
Yeah, it was incredible.
It was it was so worth it. Like, but the show itself went really well. Like the fundraiser turned out pretty good. Like we played a bunch of music. We kept the audience. They said like usually people leave like an hour after like the thing. They basically go, they eat their food and they're like, okay, cool, I contributed, I donated or whatever. But then like people were into the music we were playing and they stuck around. Like nobody really left until like we were done. So really cool.
So good.
Yeah.
We did our job.
Just like, I don't know, man. You guys are really good at Hawaiian music there. They're like, just then don't play Hawaiian music. Play like what you play. I'm like, you sure?
It's Back to the Future. It's like, hey, get a load of this, and he pulls up the phone. Right?
Kind of, and I guess that was another lesson learned. It's like, no, just do your thing. And I think I talked about that when we did the Italy, like festival, where it's just like, instead of like trying to
be somebody else.
Let's just do our thing, and it came out pretty good. It
was, you go up there. Let me sing Hawaiian music for you guys.
I sang one Hawaiian song. Like I sang Koke'e, which is like, okay, I'm from Kauai, and it's my one Hawaiian song from where I'm from. Like just in case it wasn't obvious enough that I'm not that, that I'm not Hawaiian at all, because I got scolded twice. I got scolded just for hugging wrong. Because the MC, like, no, not the MC, the other MC, the Hawaiian MC. There's a there's a more like there's a very Hawaiian MC and there's a non-Hawaiian MC that they had. Now, very Hawaiian MC lady comes up and goes for the hug. I don't know why, but like usually when you go for the hug, they lean towards the left so you can do the hug, right? She did not. She like went straight, and I'm like, okay, so, and I was trying to I'm like, I'm not like making out with you. So like I turned to the right, and I should have like leaned heavy to the left, I guess, and I turned to the right, and she hugged. She's like, how long you been in Hawaii? Like that. I'm like, oh no. And she's like, and you don't know how to hug. I was like, well, I usually hug from the left, but you weren't. I was trying to explain to her. She's like, okay, just saying that, like, just go like this. And but I'm like, I know how to do that, but you weren't doing that, And then they're like, okay, we do this Super Bowl as a fundraiser every time, the Molokai Arts Center has a birthday. And they're like, okay, we're gonna sing happy birthday, okay? All right. So everywhere else in Hawaii, for the most part, as a musician, when you sing the birthday song and you sing it in Hawaiian, you go, Hau'oli lahanau, which means happy birthday. Hau'oli lahanau, hau'oli lahanau, right? In Molokai, where like most of them speak Hawaiian, that in fact does not make sense.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, and it never occurred to me that that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's like singing the song, Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Because Hau'oli lahanau literally means happy birthday. And that's all you're singing. Okay?
Yeah.
But is in the song Happy Birthday to You. So you go, Hau'oli lahanau ia oi. Yeah? So you would say ia oi, like at the end of no, hau'oli lahanau ia oi, hau'oli lahanau ia oi, hau'oli.
Yeah,
hau'oli lahanau ia oi. Okay, so that's happy birthday to you. And I got scolded for that. I'm like, I thank you so much. You know, like, because like, you got to get corrected. If you don't get corrected, I'm just going to do it wrong. And, you know, I didn't realize how wrong that was. I knew what it meant, but I guess, you know, like if we're going literal, that's like, oh yeah, it's not really going towards anyone. You're just saying generally happy birthday, you know. But if it's a happy birthday to you or to the Molokai Arts Center, then yes, you know, yes, you would say ia oe, you know. Olilaha now ia oe. Can you have to say me is like, oh, you know, sometimes on Kauai that's kind of how we sing it. I'm like, no.
That's okay.
They're absolutely right on this one, Kaniho. Like this, let them scold me because, you know, if I don't, then you know if he's just gonna make an excuse and he's gonna defend me every time, I'm not gonna learn, and I'm down to learn. And now I learn. You know, now next time I do it, I'm gonna do it just like that because that makes sense. Okay, so it was a very humbling experience, even music wise. I was like, oh, okay, I did it wrong, you know, but it was good. It was good. I dig it a lot. The soup itself was really good. I just had the Portuguese bean soup. You had a few of the soups, yeah? How was the soup?
There was like a chicken papaya. It was really, really good. One of the best that I've ever had. And like that's coming from a Filipino family, you know?
Strong words.
Yeah. And then I had there was a vegetarian coconut curry, and I had that too. It was pretty good.
Did you try the Portuguese?
No.
That was good, man. I like as soon as I ate it, I'm like, no, this is the one. I think I'll just eat this one. It was that good. And because they had all the soups for us to try. But I'm like,
there was also like broccoli cheese and I think a seafood chowder.
Yeah. I was like, no, I think this one's good. This one's mine. Nobody touched this one. But it was great. I mean, honestly, it was an amazing experience. Mahalo, like to Kaniho, Kahea, and the family and Molokai. Thank you so much for teaching. You know, two dudes from Kauai, like what Lahui is really about. You know, it's because that's wow.
Looks like in the chat, Rob found their website, molokaiartcenter.org.
So go donate. Go donate if
you're so inclined. Please donate to them.
Please, they're amazing.
They
keep it
a community-run center. People volunteer there. They have all kinds of things. So like that, where they were making ceramic art pieces, bowls to sell, but they also teach classes. And they have all kinds of stuff. So like the community can come there and learn how to do ceramics and learn how to do all kinds of art things. So
and they were selling that. They were also selling vases, I guess, like, you know, and then you could also buy like a native plant, like to put in that vase. You know, they had like Ali Kumakani. That was really cool that they had that there, you know, and they had various other like local native plants there as well. So it was a really cool like fundraiser because it was mainly about the soup and the bowls and stuff, but they had other stuff there as well that you can go do. But, you know, if you were there for the pupus, there's the quintet, like I said, that was awesome. And they're like, you know, from the local college. They're like they're locals in there as well. So it's really cool, man. And like, because nothing ever happens in Molokai, I guess, or when they party, or not that nothing happens. When something happens, like everyone knows about it. Yeah. Wherever we went, like the flyer and our faces were like, you know, we're everywhere.
In the center of town, there's a big banner
for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really, really, really good. I wouldn't trade that for anything. It was such an amazing experience and exactly what I needed in this exact point in my life. Like perspective. Like I'm so stoked to have gotten perspective because wow, Molokai. I fell in love with you. Just honestly, my God, I have nothing to contribute, so I'm not thinking about moving there or anything. But if I did, I would. See, that's
because you would have to.
Yeah,
that's not a question.
Yeah,
because like that's how you were talking about that bartender.
Yeah,
like, here's what you're gonna do.
Here's what you're gonna do. Yeah,
anybody who moves there,
you know, you can't just be like, well,
not a question.
What are you contributing? Yeah, so. Someone asked me that. Now I have a better answer for them, or at least an example for them. Like the next time I get asked that, like, how do I, like feel like I belong in the community now? Instead of like, being like this, like kind of outsider, no matter like how many years you've lived here.
you know how you said like you got scolded for like how you sang happy birthday and stuff?
Yeah.
I think that is kind of the lesson to learn too, is that don't go into the community thinking that you're gonna change the community. Yeah. Like let the community change you.
Yes.
Yeah. Like listen to what people are saying and then like you grow from that, and just like I think that's how, you know, some people come here and they're like, oh, I don't feel welcome. It's like, are you like listening to, you know, people, not just saying like, hey, you guys should do this or you guys should do that.
Yeah, in my old school, this is how we did it.
That's how a lot, man. Like, and people don't even realize it, you know, like a lot of people like will voice their opinions on behalf of the community, but it's really just making their own lives, like, you know.
Yeah, trying to make it easier for them.
But it's
and
not.
I guess that's great advice for no matter where you move or no matter where you go.
Listen to your community.
Yeah, I think wherever you are, you think about that community and how you can contribute or listen to them.
I was telling Aaron that I went to my great uncle's funeral over the weekend.
Yeah.
And he was a police officer, and there was the chief of the police came and was talking, gave a story about him. And the chief of the police said, like, after he graduated college with like a degree in law, he came back to Kauai, joined the, you know, police officers. And then my great uncle was like a kind of a veteran officer. So they told him like, hey, as a rookie, go ride with my uncle Robert Bobby. Go ride with him and learn from him. And he went, and he's like, my uncle Robert showed him. And then he's like, after they went on a ride along and did stuff, my uncle Robert's like, what did you learn from this ride along? And he's like, nothing. And he's like, oh my gosh, you gotta, even though you think you know, you gotta learn, right? You gotta learn. And then later on, he found out like he went to like a big convention where they were talking about how to do community policing. And he was like, oh, this is all the stuff that Robert was talking about and doing 20 years earlier. And they didn't have a name for it. So when he came back to Kauai and he told my uncle Robert that, he's like, hey, I went to this convention and they were doing all the things you're talking about. My uncle Robert is like, yeah, and I never even go college. So it's like, yeah, like you can have something to contribute, but I think be open to learning, right? Be open to learning and be open to growing.
Yeah. Well, because like you were saying that most of that ride along was talking to people.
Yeah.
Right.
My uncle Robert, so he would go throughout like his shift or a night shift and go to each business, stop in, and he would ask them like, oh, who's the owner? Who's working here? What shift is this? You know, and just introduce himself like, hey, I'm Robert. If you guys need any help or need anything. And he said like, he asked the chief of police now, like, hey, so what did you learn from that? And he's like, nothing. And he said like, no, you gotta find out who these people are. So if anything ever happens to these shops, you know who to call, like saying like, hey, there's been a break-in, there's been a robbery or something. And if that you can't do that, then go directly to their house, find out where they live. And he was saying too, it's like, you're doing that so you can help them in their time of need, but these people are gonna be there for when you're in need help too, right? That's how it is for a community too. So
yeah. Oh man. One bad thing though from this weekend, Kahai, my hunter rank never went up, man.
I as soon as you said one bad thing, and I was like, okay, tech problems, maybe sound issues, something. And then over the weekend, I was like, weekend long, can't play Monster Hunter. That is.
You know, I'm still HR 70, man.
I just got to 20. I just got to 20. So.
That's cute.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, good for you.
Maybe take some more trips to Molokai so I can catch up, right?
I'm going to Oahu this weekend, so you know.
Yeah, don't bring whatever your PlayStation. Don't bring it. Let me catch up.
You know, I am going to Oahu, not for the week, just for the day. I'm headed over to Craig and Sarah's retreat, so you can catch up then. That's cool though. The 20's great. No, you're doing good, man.
Okay.
Keep it up, bud. You know, you'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all, man. I'm like, I wonder what my hunter's doing right now. You know, wonder if my Palico misses me, or you know, or if Gemma misses me, or Alma, any of my friends back home.
How can I go back into Monster Hunter and make that community better?
Yeah. How do I take the knowledge that I got from Molokai and use that in my Monster Hunter community, in my squad? We're like, guys, we got to do it for Lahui.
Yep.
Okay? Not just what you guys need to hunt right now. It's about what we need to hunt right now as a community. Eat, sleep, hunt, repeat, baby. Boom. Yeah. See that? That's how it goes. All right, Kahat. Any questions from the audience? Gotta take some questions, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, we also gotta give away a CD.
Yeah, let's answer a question first. Let's leave that as our finale here.
Well, I don't know if we have questions from the audience, really. So.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, went to Molokai before. It's a nice place.
Yeah, really talking about.
Oh yeah, it's just that. Like, I was only there for a day, and it's like, man, that was a lot of impact. Like in one day. Could you imagine if I stayed there for a little bit?
Yeah,
I just. Yeah, feel even lazier and lazier. I'm like, what am I doing with my community, you know?
Because imagine, like, people come to Kauai and they have that experience on Kauai, right? But it's like, yeah, Kauai is not to that extent of like,
But we are pretty good at, like, you know, at balancing like modern and kind of old ways. Like,
I think we still
have a bunch of old ways. You know, I don't mean to talk so bad about my island. My island is great, like, because I'm reminded how great this island is every time I go to Oahu. It's like, I grew up in Kōloa and all these things change, but I also, you know, like, did a lot of growing up on Oahu in Waikiki, and I'm like, oh yeah, this place is place is a concrete jungle. Like, look at this place, and it was terrible back then, and it's even worse now, you know. So I'm grateful to live where I live.
Yeah, so. And that's why I was telling Kahea too. Is like, when you go back to Molokai, because she grew up there. Yeah, it's like, I bet it feels a lot like when we come back from Oahu, visiting Oahu for a little while, and come back to Kauai, and it's like, oh yeah. You can breathe. You can, like, you know.
Yeah. All right. So, ask us your ukulele questions, because we'd love to answer an ukulele question that we can cut for our Instagram. So please ask away. Meanwhile, why don't we just give away that CD?
Yep.
Boom. Okay. Pure Heart 1, signed copy, signed by all three members, Jake Shimabukuro, Lopaka Colon, and John Yamasato. Boom. Here are the people that put in their songs and the songs that they wrote. So all you have to do in order to be eligible to win this is basically write a song in half step. That's it. You just got to be half step down, write a song, and that's, you know, that will put you in these. And only 4 people did it. So, you know what? One's gonna go to one of these 4.
So we had somebody who did write a poem in a half step down tuning.
Who's that?
So the Bumble Bard, and it's great because for the last songwriting contest, she wrote a song about John Cena. And then realized she didn't know who John Cena was. So this time she wrote a poem again about John Cena.
I mean, if you say bard, it's like a singer, right? You gotta sing us a few bars, bard. Okay? Because I feel like that's poet. If you're just writing poems, it's a poet, not necessarily a bard. I mean, bard does both, right? Because he would have to write poets and then sing them in song. Okay?
This is Rachel too.
Yeah.
From the open mic.
Oh, Rachel Menke?
No.
No.
And
the Rachel with the eyes, the ukulele. That one. The eyes in the ukulele. Oh, cool. All right. So Pure Heart 1. Okay, that was the only criteria. You would have to have sent us your songs prior to today, and these are for lucky people. Okay, so we're gonna spin the wheel, and then we're gonna find out who wins. How long is the spin? Make the spin a little bit longer than you. Give them some suspense. Don't give them some suspense. Can you?
Let me.
Yeah. Because it's good if it's gonna stop like after like 1 second or 2 seconds. Like, give them some suspense. Make it that
15 seconds.
Here's the. 15 sounds a little too long. Maybe 10.
10
Let's go 10.
normal.
10 is great. 10 is great. Yeah. 10 is great. So here's the Pure Heart album. Comes with the CD. Comes with all the inserts and stuff. Signed. All right. Here we go. Spin that wheel. There we go. Here we go.
Don't know if it's on Tim or...
Hey, speaking of Rachel, wow. Hey, congratulations, Rachel. Boom, the Bumble Bard gets the signed copy of Pure Hearts. Boom. What happened to our usual suspects that usually contributes and puts,
Well,
puts
Chris and Sue did.
I saw Chris and Sue. I saw Rue,
They were
and Tim has done songs before too. So they're kind of some of our users.
So right on. Boom, 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 boom. Here's a close-up of the Pure Heart album.
Did you get to listen to Chris and Sue's? It's pretty amazing.
Oh, when did they send it? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I gotta go
it's in
listen
Slack.
to it.
Okay. Oh man, they did such a great job.
Pure Heart. There it is. There's the signatures. There you go. Congratulations.
Rachel.
All right, so we'll send that over to you. So, any questions? From the audience?
No, I don't think so.
We just talked about Molokai for an hour. It was like, it really, I could sit here and talk about Molokai for days at this point and it would just be about that one day that we were there for. Yeah, just so inspirational. And I'm definitely going to take a lot of the inspiration and use it to enrich my life here on Kauai because yeah, and you could think of a lot of the residents there as activists, they actively participate in the decision makings of what goes on in there. And I mean, why wouldn't you? It's your home, it's your island. It's amazing. It's amazing.
So Brother Sam did say, did you guys go in the alley behind the bakery and get bread?
Yes. Yes, we did. So, my students, because I was I was asking my students what is there to do in Molokai? What is there even to do? And then they're like, nothing. And one thing you can do is you go to this alleyway, and then you see one scary guy, and then the scary guy gonna open the window. There's this tiny little window in this dark alley, and then they're gonna ask you
they're gonna yell at you.
Yeah, you're gonna yell at you. What you like? And then you let him know, what you want. He doesn't even tell you the menu. You just let him know. And you're supposed to know what to order before you even get there, Or else he's going to he's going to shut that window. And then after you let him cream cheese strawberry, And he's going to go, close the thing. And he's going to open it up again and give it to you. And you give him the money. And then that's it. End of transaction. Now it's a lot less scarier and a lot more friendly.
Yeah. It's actually lighted.
It's lit. It's lit. It's a lit little same alleyway. It's the same alleyway, but it's lit, and they're a lot more friendlier now. People are hanging out there and stuff. It's but same they were sold out an hour and a half into it, but I think they're open for 2 hours, 3.5.
Yeah,
3 hours.
You also don't have to go as late. I think before it was 12 o'clock.
11. I think 11. They said So they were open at 7:30, so people could go there and get their bread. But the reason why they're open at 11 is because it's called hot bread. It's a lot of us here refer to it as Molokai bread, but to them it's just hot bread because it's
Molokai hot bread when it comes out of the oven.
And that's what I was getting at. So you get it at 11 o'clock because that's the first that's the first batch of of bread that they would make, and then they put stuff inside. So people are like, "What's so special about this bread?" It's just delicious bread. That they cut open. It's this puffy circular bread. They cut it in half this way, like a big
sandwich
burger, a burger, and then inside they can put whatever you want. There's cream cheese, there's butter, or margarine, I guess. Cream cheese, margarine, cinnamon, and a bunch of jellies like strawberry, raspberry, guava. Like I saw they had ube there, and there's like all these, like flavors and stuff.
Classic one.
Yeah, strawberry, classic. Like strawberry, cream cheese, and cinnamon. Is like your basic combination and stuff. So I got my kids love strawberry. Got that. I got raspberry, and then I got to shout out this lady. This lady who was there at the Super Bowl, and she like loved the show, and like saw us going to the dark alley, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's the guys from the thing, from the show." And then they're like, "Oh, they said they only have like 9 or 10 left." So and there's like a line. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are gonna get any, but here, take mine. I'm like, no, I can just go like see if I can go grab. They're like, no, you're not gonna get any. So here, take mine. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, like okay, like I thank you. Like I mean, sure. But then I got there and they had just enough to fulfill my order. But then afterwards, all the other people that were in line got what's called day old bread, but it's the same bread. I'm sure it tastes just as good,
For Kauai, we never get any
fresh bread. Yeah.
Day old anyway. So.
Yeah, because we do get Molokai bread, but it's like air-shipped over to Oahu and then Kauai too. Yeah.
So yeah, it's delicious. I tried all of them yesterday, and I thought the one that the lady gave me, I thought it was like cream cheese, cinnamon, and blueberry, because that sounds awesome. But it was cream cheese, margarine or butter, and cinnamon. So the B was for butter. Oh. Yeah, instead of blueberry. I thought it was blueberry, but cinnamon, cream cheese, butter. Oh my God. It was like, that was a sleeper hit, I thought. Because it's like, it really was just the taste of the bread that was enhanced by the cinnamon, butter, cream cheese. It's like, this is like, as you can, as basic as you can have it, with still like flavors from, from that place. But it's more like the bread that's shining, rather than like, oh, that bread is really good next to that raspberry filling or whatever, But it's awesome.
It was funny that you guys had that, and over the weekend, it's like my mom got for fundraiser, and it's got ube and hapia, and it's like, oh yeah, you guys are getting it too, right? Getting it from the source.
So I made bread to give to our host, and I joked around my wife saying like, I'm leaving with bread and I'm coming home with more bread. I come home and bring more bread.
Look at this. I'm making gains, not only bread, but cream cheese too.
But yeah, it was good fun. And that was it. We stayed at one of 2 hotels in Molokai, and I think they're building a third one, they said, Ooh. Stayed over at Hotel Molokai. And I don't know how many people are staying at that hotel, but like we didn't check in, like Kahea checked in for us, yeah. And I guess because they know Kahea already, because everyone knows everybody. So Kahea was about to check in for us, and they're like, Kahea, I don't see your name on the thing. It's like, oh no, it's under Aldrine Guerrero. Like, oh, okay. And then when we checked out, they're like, okay, you guys are good. And then like I didn't even tell you my last name or what room I'm at. They're like, hey, room 126 just checked out just now. I'm like, how did you know that? But it's like, I guess maybe they only had 5, like 10 guests, like that were staying there. So they knew everyone that was staying at the resort. It's pretty awesome.
Or it's like, oh, do you guys need to see my card, or you see my? It's like, no.
Yeah,
that's the thing too. Like, oh my God, and I'm not like, they could go to a store, like, not even close the door, like leave the keys inside their vehicle, go in, grab whatever they gotta grab, and come back. Keys are still in the ignition. It's like super safe.
People don't typically lock their
doors or houses. Yeah, even it's like, what? What?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like that's what the police chief said at my uncle's funeral. He said that they handed out like surveys to the community, and it's like, what is the number one biggest worry that you have? And when they got it back, they counted it's like stray dogs and chickens. It's like, oh, okay, fine, yeah.
Cats for me, street cats.
I'm guessing because like if you steal something on Molokai, they're gonna find out who you are. So, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. Right? You steal jewelry from somebody, and they see you wearing that, you're like, yeah. It's pretty obvious. Oh. Or steal the car. You know, like I guess you could leave your car. The one road. They have one straight road. On Kauai, there's a road that circles around the island, and maybe not a full circle, but it goes around the island. They have one road that goes across it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
This is the one road. And there's so much deer. That was like, I knew there was deer, but I didn't realize how much deer was in Molokai. And it's loads. And like, you really have to be careful driving there, because I could see hitting a deer being a common thing.
Yeah. Kaheo was telling us a story about the airport.
Yeah.
Because like most airports, right? You like if you're dropping off or picking up someone, you can pull up to the curb, but you can't stay there.
Yeah.
But on Molokai, you pretty much can, because like, there's so few people that go to the airport.
Yeah.
So like she was saying that there was one time that she heard of where a guy he parked his truck by right by the curb at the airport, and he went in.
Yeah.
And then when he came out, he took the wrong truck. So it was like a truck that looked like his. He got in, the keys were in there, and he was like halfway down the road, like he was going to work, and he got a call saying like, "Hey, did you take this other person's truck?" And of course he knew that person.
Yeah.
So he just called that person and said like, "Oh, I'm almost to work. I gotta work today. We'll just meet up after work and change trucks."
That is seriously just something that would only happen in Molokai.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I gotta figure something out. I'm gonna figure something out how to contribute.
Yeah.
Live there.
Start learning how to make bowls, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Mentor people and how to make bowls. Yeah, because they're not into video games there. Man, like Kaniho's kid, who's like a video game addict, was just tweaking, like like a recovering person. It's just like he was just jonesing for like video games, and he kept getting scolded of like being on the phone, like trying to game on the phone. It's like, no, just stop, put the phone down. Because Kahea like grew up there, so she's like, she wants it for her kids too, where they're just like, oh, just be simple, just for like one day or like for one trip. Just have no video games and just enjoy like this nature and this, this community. But you're not about to tell like a 7-8-year-old that, They want to play video games, they're gonna play video games, man. Right, Kai? Because I was jonesing.
The one thing, right?
Yeah,
the one
all
thing.
this community stuff. Yeah, that's great and stuff. But what about my hunter? what about my hui?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not about to let Toji pass me, which he did over the weekend. I'm like, wow, way to take advantage, Toji. Toji's my squad mate who was 15 levels below me before I left. I'm like, I think that's a good amount, to leave the weekend and no one's gonna pass me. And then boom, Toji passes me at like six hunter ranks like over me. And I'm like, I can't. And of course I played last night and then I passed Toji. But for a brief moment there, Toji was a higher hunter rank than me, Kai. And I'm not about to have that. Thanks a lot, Molokai. See how quick I turned. Okay, do we have any questions? No, nothing?
Laogao asked, will Aldrine, Aaron, Corey, and Kōloa be at the Kauai Ukulele Festival?
The Kauai one?
Yeah,
Kauai. I don't think Aaron and I don't think Corey and Kōloa are coming. I think someone else is coming. We had them last year. I don't know if they're coming this year.
I know they were asked though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, maybe just have
possibly.
a booth. Yeah, just have a booth. Maybe.
Yeah.
Aldrine and Aaron will. They'll definitely be there. They have to. They're working, so you'll see them there. But yeah, maybe Corey and Kōloa. I don't know to what extent though, but maybe. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions?
Yoda said, "Are you looking forward to the Switch too?"
Yes. Next question.
Yeah, and then that's it.
That's it. Wow, guys, really just was entranced by my Molokai stories. Like they chose not to ask questions and stuff. But yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, like I had a great time, and it's, you know, being a Hawaii resident, like it's nice to get to experience the other islands and seeing, you know, what makes them unique, because every island is unique, honestly. Like Kauai has its own identity. I've been to Maui before. I've been to a big island before. I've been to Oahu, of course. I've lived there, you know, for a little bit. And now Molokai. I guess Lanai is the only one that I haven't been to at this point. And I heard that's even slower than Molokai. But like one guy owns the whole island, right?
Yeah. So I'm sure the dynamic is a lot different.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think they are building like a hotel on it, and they're like, I think it might become more popular.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess like the entire time I didn't really have any like, you know, I wanted to, because my dad told me that he went to Molokai before, but I never really had any reasons to go. But now it's like, yeah, I don't think I should need one. I should just go there to enjoy it and to enjoy family and friends that I've made at this point. So
I'm sure it does help though. Like if you decided to go before now, it does help to have somebody who's from there who can kind of help you out.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's nice. Okay. So check out ukuleleunderground.com, ukuleleunderground.com if you want to learn how to play the ukulele. If you're like, man, when is this guy going to teach us about strumming patterns? Which is never.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to learn how to play ukulele, ukuleleunderground.com. That's where we teach how to play the ukulele. All things ukulele is on that website. There's place you can go. Ukulele Underground is the main page. You can check out forum.ukuleleunderground.com to lead you to our forum, and that is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, ukulele forum in the world. You can meet some friends. You can you know, find out what's happening in your area, find out if there's any clubs, if there's any ukulele festivals, finding a luthier, or there's even a buy and sell place over there that guys can check out. We're talking about hui. This is our hui right here. Forum.ukuleleunderground.com. Okay. Shop.ukuleleunderground.com leads you to a place where you can pick up some merch. You can pick up some ukuleles. You can pick up some lessons a la carte if you want to go do that. So shop.ukuleleunderground.com for all the latest and Ukulele Underground merch and wares. All right. Yeah. What else? YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Like and thumbs up, and give a thumbs up to this video. It helps. It helps the algorithm. It helps more people see us and our content. And if you've been enjoying this content, yeah, please like, subscribe, do all that stuff so that we can reach further. Okay. But mahalo to all you guys who have done so already, because we appreciate that, and we appreciate every single one of you. Let's see what else. The HU Ukulele Academy, of course, if you want to take some ukulele lessons while on the island of Kauai, you can check out Aldrine.com. Aldrine.com, lessons in person here on Kauai. We have weekly lessons, we have private lessons, we have group lessons, lessons for kids, for adults. We have ensembles, all kinds of stuff now for all levels of ukulele. All right, so make sure you check out Aldrine.com if you're visiting the island of Kauai. And also, if you're like, oh man, you know, I'm not going to Kauai anytime soon, but is there anything else that I can do on that website? You can pick up one of our shirts. We have all like AG Ukulele Academy shirts available on aldrine.com, and I have other shirts there as well that in the merch side of aldrine.com. Pick up some Aldrine merch. Yeah, check that out. Anything else, gentlemen?
A new solo should be coming out Friday.
Ooh.
But then also somebody said in the chat, like, send some love to Jim's way. And yeah, like, I know that the people in Australia got hit with the cyclone.
That's right, he wasn't there like on Friday too. Yeah. So my god, yeah. So shout out to and love going to Jim, his family and friends in the area, or anyone affected by the storms going down in Australia. We're thinking of you guys. Yeah, just stay safe. And so love to Jim. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Have a great one, guys. Have a week. We'll see you guys on Friday for Aloha Friday Live Jam. Bye. Aloha.